My name, let's call it Sophia, and I'm going to tell you how I wrested my life back and ended my husband Xander's chaos. The names you'll hear aren't real. I'm a well-known attorney in my state, and discretion isn't optional, it's survival. We don't need the fairy tale prologue. We met, fell fast, married, and eventually divorced. The love wasn't mutual. Xander strayed. The clues had been blinking for months. Dodging conversations, late nights at the office, a calendar jammed with business trips. He ran a sizable company. I ran cases. My career is successful. But because I earned less, he treated me like a disappointment. During one of his trips, I decided to stop trusting promises and start checking facts. On his old laptop, I found a hidden Facebook account, messages, photos, the lot. There she was, the woman he'd chosen. He'd called her stunning, often contrasting her looks with mine like a sport. My stomach dropped, anger followed, and I called him. Xander, are you cheating on me? I have proof. He didn't flinch. Sophia, you're boring now. You bury yourself in trivial cases and ignore me. And you're not exactly a supermodel. My jaw tightened. You knew what my job required when you proposed. I didn't ignore you. You stopped coming home and refused to talk. That was how the truth finally surfaced. I still expected a flicker of regret, anything human. Instead, he shoved the blame in my lap to justify his affair. When I knocked down his argument point by point, he went colder. Good, he said flatly. Now I don't have to hide. My girlfriend and I will have the life I deserve after I divorce your useless self. I'll finally marry a woman worthy of me. The words hit like a winter gust. He wasn't just cheating, he was proud of it. He told me I wasn't pretty enough, not valuable enough, not enough. Tears came to spite me. How can you say that? I whispered. I've stood beside you through everything. I met my vows. It doesn't matter, he shrugged. I'm a respected business owner now. A plain woman with a pretentious law degree doesn't help my image. I'm a capable attorney. Even if I don't fit your shallow criteria, I managed. I've been a good wife. He cut me off. I'm not considering divorce, Sophia. I've decided. Papers are coming. I've hired an excellent lawyer. Be gone before I get home. I don't want to see your ugly face again. He hung up. Hours later, one of his friends arrived with the documents, eyes apologetic. I signed for the envelope, closed the door, and cried until I went empty. But the crying ended. I wasn't going to let a small man write the last chapter of my life. When the papers arrived, his friend let slip something else. Xander planned to drag the divorce out. It clicked. Years ago, per his insistence, our prenup included a fidelity clause. If he cheated, I could claim half of his business. In my shock, I'd forgotten he hadn't. He wanted time to bully me into surrendering what he knew I was owed. Not happening. I called the number on the paperwork and booked a meeting with his lawyer. Within 48 hours, I'd moved out of Xander's house and into my childhood home, mine free and clear. I texted him. I've moved everything. I took my ugly face and body out of your pristine house. Good, he replied. My attorney is the best in the city. Enjoy him, I wrote back. I won't be giving you my share of the business. Stay away from me for now. From that moment, I refused direct contact. All communication goes through counsel. Also, send a crew to empty your things from my home. His arrogance sparked something hot and steady in me. Rage can be a forge. He had no idea who he'd chosen to fight, and I doubted his attorney did either. We met at a cafe. When Jake, his lawyer, looked up and recognized me, his hands trembled before he caught himself. He was competent, but out of his depth for this opponent. Hi, Jake, I said evenly. Yes, I'm the wife. The different last name? I'm married after my license, so I still use my maiden name for work. I see, he said, visibly uncomfortable. My client says you're the one planning to stall this case. That's not true, I replied. Xander wants to run the clock. He told you that, didn't he? I let my reputation do half the talking. Attorneys trade stories. He'd heard mine. He shifted under the questions. I spared him the chess game and moved to check. Did your client mention he cheated? I asked. His face answered before his mouth did. He warned me you'd make baseless claims to ruin him, Jake admitted, cheeks burning. You poor man, I said softly. He played you. For what it's worth, Xander thinks you're one of the best. That compliment should feel nice until you realize he withheld the facts you need to do your job. Jake exhaled. He said you work at a law firm. He didn't mention you. He never respected my credentials, I said. He liked diminishing what I did. Foolish of me to stay, but smart of me to sign the prenup. The word hit him like a glass dropped on tile. There's a prenup, he blurted. Your husband never said, do you have proof? Oh, I have more than proof, I said, sliding a neat folder onto the table. I have the agreement, the fidelity clause he demanded, and evidence of the affair he said would never exist. I also have date-stamped messages from the secret account on his old laptop. Would you like copies, or shall I have them delivered to your office with an index? He swallowed. Copies will be fine. Good, I said, standing. Tell your client there will be no stalling. He chose the battlefield. I own the rule book. We'll proceed swiftly. We'll honor the prenup he insisted on, and we'll settle what's mine. I left him there with his coffee and his shaken confidence, stepped into the sun, and felt something I hadn't felt in years, clean air. Xander thought he could humiliate me and walk away richer. He forgot who I am. He forgot what I know. And he forgot the first rule of litigation. If you lie to your own lawyer, you've already lost. Jake, I brought everything. I'd guessed Xander would try to wriggle out of consequences. Not on my watch. I'd like to see the papers, ma'am, and any proof of the affair, Jake said. Relax, Jake. I came loaded. I set a tidy stack on the table, messages, photos, the prenup, timestamps, all of it. I'm not the one stalling. The faster this is over, the better for me. He read in silence, page after page, shoulders sinking as the picture formed. At last, he capped his pen and looked up, a little defeated. You've documented everything. I had no idea. I figured, I said. Unreliable clients are hard enough. Worse when the other side has teeth. You're not wrong, he sighed. That's all for today. I need a very frank talk with my client before I decide if I'm staying on. Though I can't promise it'll be me who calls. I heard the message between the lines, thanked him, and left. Back at my office, I started drafting my own filings. The grief had burned off. In its place was clean, focused heat. Xander built this mess. He could live in it. He didn't last 24 hours. My phone lit up. So much for no direct contact. What did you tell my lawyer, Sophia? He barked. Well, look who's calling. I thought we were lawyers only. Trouble with counsel. Cut it out. What did you say to make him quit? Oh, he resigned. I hummed. How unfortunate. Maybe next time be honest about what he's up against, and about your situation. You're nobody, he snapped. You're not taking my company. I'd love to watch you try to stop me, I said. Hire someone better. See if they'll touch your case once you disclose the affair and the prenup. Click. He hung up. I laughed. He was drowning and didn't see the water. He'd shopped the whole city. My name alone would make sensible lawyers wary, and anyone foolish enough to buy his spin would meet my evidence and rethink fast. He'd promised I'd beg for mercy. I gave it a week before he'd be the one at my door. It didn't take that long. One morning, a knock. I opened the door to my almost ex, rumpled, exhausted. I waved him in. No street scenes, please. Make it quick, Xander. We're supposed to communicate through counsel. About that, I haven't found someone to take the case yet. Tragic. Better hurry. The fiancé in waiting must be impatient. I'm not worried about her. Listen, we need to talk. You're sabotaging me. You've scared off every lawyer. That's unfair. I laughed out loud. The audacity. Let's fix your delusion. I haven't sabotaged a thing. You lied about the affair and the prenup. No one wants a client who'll humiliate them in court. And yes, my reputation helps clear rooms. He swallowed. I've tried being honest, too. Still no takers. That's what happens when you're up against an ironclad prenup you wrote, I said. You should have thought the affair through. It's done. You'll be handing me half the business. His face said everything. This was why he'd wanted to drag things out, to exhaust me into walking away empty-handed. When no one would represent him, he reached for his last trick. He cried, "Sophia, please. You know what the company means to me. Take everything else. Just don't split the business." "Why not?" I asked mildly. "You're the one who insisted on that clause if you cheated. You think I'll abandon my rights after the way you blindsided me?" "It was a mistake," he pleaded. "I put the relationship on hold. Maybe we can give the marriage another shot. This will make us stronger." I actually laughed. The nerve. Rumor already said the girlfriend was furious, and so was he. He thought dangling reconciliation would make me drop my claim. Not a chance. "You're delusional," I told him. "I didn't get here by being stupid. You want me back because you don't want to split your company. No thanks. That woman will vanish when she learns you won't be rich after this. As for me, this is my exit, and I'm grateful we didn't have children. You reap what you sow." I was done. He kept begging, but the only thing I felt was the memory of nights I cried while he played house with someone else, and the quiet satisfaction of seeing the tables turn. Now I wanted a clean cut. Karma obliged. He pestered me for weeks. I ignored him and hired a colleague from my firm to represent me. I don't do divorces, and I wanted as little contact as possible. After a month of flailing, he finally retained counsel and asked for a straightforward settlement. He knew a courtroom would only cost him money and pride. The prenup made everything simple. I had abundant proof of his infidelity. As agreed, he transferred half the business to me. We even offered a buyout. He couldn't afford it. Where did all that big business owner cash go? Into the mistress, who no longer answers his calls now that the gravy train stopped. Funny how that works. And everyone else sees her for what she is. His real problems were just starting. With revenue sliced, he sold the house, couldn't service the mortgage. He rents a condo now, a long fall from the mansion. He tried another reconciliation pitch, hoping it would restore his control. Not happening. Either he lives with the split or saves enough someday to buy me out. As for me, I put a seasoned operator in charge of my stake. Between my practice and my new income stream, I moved into a better home and built the life I wanted. Things are calm, profitable, and finally mine. In the end, I didn't get played. I turned the board. He and his mistress burned down their futures. I rebuilt mine and lit the way out.